Jimbo Fisher, linebacker Telvin Smith, and quarterback Jameis Winston. Coach, when you're ready, opening statement.
First of all, I'd like to thank Pasadena and the Rose Bowl for an incredible venue and our fans in the country around the support we've had this year. This has been a first-class trip. They have done everything under the sun to make our trip unbelievable. I mean, we don't get a chance to come out in this part of the country very much. Very blessed, and I also like to say Auburn, they're a great program, great tradition, and a great league. I'll also say it's been a 4-year evolution to put ourselves in this opportunity. We talked about being a program. We wanted to do things right. We wanted to build the foundation. And these guys have given their hearts and souls to us as coaches, and it's been unbelievable. This team, these players, what we went through the last 3-4 years, losing 11 guys in the draft, 6 new coaches, these guys believed and kept going. And I want to say a special thank you to this senior group. This is the group that when I went to recruit them as a first-time head coach who never had anything out there, and they believed in me and this staff to be able to come here and believe the dream in which we were telling them we had an opportunity to do. This group is an unbelievable group, not only because of how it plays, but how it affects everybody on the team with their attitudes, their abilities. They make everybody better. It's a group will always be remembered in my heart, I promise. And life through the good and bad, expectations, striving. We've accomplished a lot, and I'm very proud. But we've gotten an expectation now. We've gotten an elite level and a standard which we don't want to go below. And hopefully we've arrived ourselves back as a program right now. But it was a great night, very happy. Our assistant coaches were unbelievable, keeping our guys together during the game to keep the poise so we could execute and do the things we needed to do. Our players believed, they kept their heads down and kept working. And it's just a tribute to everybody involved in the organization. I'd like to say a special thank you to them. Questions?
Again, questions for Coach only at this time. Start right up here in the front.
Coach Danny Morales of Skyboat.com. Jameis leads that game-winning drive. He hasn't done that all year. What poise did you see from him in that drive?
It's the best football game he played all year. And I'll tell you why. Because for 3 quarters, he was up and down. And he fought and he fought. And just like any great player, some nights you don't have it. When you can go back and you like the great ones do. It's not my night, but we got a chance to win this ball game. It's in the 4th quarter. I got 1 or 2 touches left, and you can take your team down the field and lead them to victory. That's what a great player is to me. Because anybody can do it when it's their A-game night. A lot of guys can do that. Very few can do it when it's not their night. And to pull it out in the atmosphere and environment, and with what was on the line tonight, to me, if that's not a great player, I don't know what one is.
Over here in the aisle.
Coach, James Coe from Fox 11 Los Angeles. Can you talk about that decision to go for that fake punt? To me, it seemed like that really turned the game around for you guys on offense.
Well, we lost momentum in the game. It was 21-3. I knew with 5 minutes to go, if they got it back and scored, and the game could be over right there before half. And I knew we had the ball coming out the second half, and we're here to win this thing. We weren't here just to show up and try to play well. And I thought that's what we had to do to gain the momentum of the game back, and it worked, and we got it, went down, got the drive, and then got back in the ball game. And hopefully that's what changed the momentum of the game and got our confidence back.
We're going to come right here in the middle.
Gene Williams, Warchant.com. Coach, I just asked you about Kermit Whitfield and that kick return, how important that was, and just talk about the speed he has.
Well, Kermit's a big-time player. We know he's a 10-1, 900 meters, the 3rd fastest 100 meters in high school history. But this guy's going to be a big-time player. He has great hips, great acceleration. He's learning our offense and getting the touches. But in the open field, he's as dynamic as anybody in America. He's as good as anybody I've ever been around to do it at that stage. Our team blocked very well, but he has that finishing speed, and I think the sky's the limit for that guy his whole career here at Florida State.
Ivan.
Jimbo, Ivan Mazel of ESPN.com. Why didn't Jameis have his A game? What was Auburn doing?
They kept things mixed up. I think they got pressure on him. They covered tightly, and we dropped some balls. We had some critical drops in the game. Rashad played a great game, but he had a whip route that he would have caught and went out in the sideline probably for 40, 50 yards in the game. And KB had a couple critical drops, and we were just pressing. I think we were worried. It's the first time this year I thought we got outcome oriented. In other words, we were worried about the scoreboard and not just playing the next play. And I think that you get these environments, you have to go through that, and that's part of learning as a young player. And then, but to be able to adjust on that day and still get back and be great, to me that's big time.
Come over here on the right.
Jason Staples, NullDigest.com. Coach, it looked like early on once you got pinned inside the 5, that was really where you lost a lot of rhythm and didn't get it back initially. Can you talk about what you did? Both maybe on a motivational side and on a scheme side to get that rhythm back
Well, we lost the field position battle in the game. We were pinned back inside the 20 probably 5 or 6 times in the ball game. And, you got to be careful. We didn't want to give the ball game away. We weren't making enough good plays. But again, to get the rhythm back, again, I think the fake punt got us back and got the confidence right before half. We went to some shorter throws, getting the ball out of his hands so he didn't have to hold it. We didn't have to protect as long, get him in a rhythm, hit a couple of the pressure, we call pressure switches, and got out there and got some field position. And then after that, we started believing at halftime. And at halftime, we went in, we didn't feel bad because we hadn't played well at all. We're down 21-10. We're right in the ball game. We got the ball coming out. We were right where not where you wanted to be as a lead, but we felt very comfortable where we were. And we told our guys at halftime, this is what you remember coming back. You just got to keep your poise and battle back. And the momentum got switched, I think, with the fake punt.
Right here on the aisle.
Coach Brady Ackerman, CSS. Can you talk about your defense's performance, especially in that third quarter where they held them to 19 yards rushing?
Big time. Our defense allowed the offense to get back in the game. And in the first half, it was more of us. We had some older guys, just missed some assignments, had a couple critical mistakes and checks and things that were very uncharacteristic. I think we all got caught up in the moment a little bit. And then they settled down at halftime. In that third quarter, we're totally dominant. I mean, very dominant in the game, which allowed us on offense to get the ball back a couple times, win the field position battle because they weren't getting first downs and then putting us down inside the 10 or 20. And then we could call good plays and be more aggressive in our play calls from the field position battle of our defense. This is a complete team effort. I say this all the time. People talk about defense wins championship. Let me tell you something. Great teams win championships. Tonight, our defense had its moments, our offense had its moments, and our special teams had its moments. We had the fake punt, the return. Our defense was dominant in the second half. The offense got going when it had to. To me, that's what it was all about, and this is a complete football team.
We're going to take our last question from Ryan.
Scott Koenig, Seminoles.com. Coach, what does this mean to you personally to finally have one as a head coach, and what does it mean to Florida State in general?
I'll think about that later. I'm just happy right now for our players and our assistant coaches and our fans. That's for down the road. We'll think about that, in years later on. But I don't try to live like that. In 2 days, I want to get ready to go win another one. I want to get ready to go win one next year and get us going. We'll reflect when we're done. But I'm happy for these players and coaches and our fans to be able to hold their heads high. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm happy for our conference. The ACC is good football, folks. It's great football. It's a great football conference. We got great commissioner. We got great football. We got great coaches. We got great players. And I'm happy for the ACC because that's fine. What Clemson did the other night. Duke played a tremendous game. We had 11 teams in bowl games. I'm happy. There's some. The SEC is great football. I coached in that league for 13 years. I respect every bit of it. There's some other folks in this country who play some football too.
Coach, thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll let you go back to your